Hi there, this is Chris, Chaplain Cap Motor Legends. Today we are going to be looking at summer jackets. And don't forget, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. In this review, we're going to be looking at 10 of our favourite summer jackets. Now, we don't do every brand on the market, but we do tend to be a little bit picky here at Motor Legends, so I think you can be reasonably confident that we'll be looking at some of the better summer jackets on the market. But I suppose the first question has to be, what is a summer jacket? And the answer is, in our world, any jacket that does not have a waterproof membrane. There are, of course, lots of lightweight waterproof jackets on the market, but the way we see it, if it's hot, the last thing you want anywhere near your body is a waterproof membrane. And that's because a membrane is going to get in the way of our ability to sweat effectively. And when it's hot, we need to be able to sweat properly, as this is the body's natural mechanism for cooling itself down. When we get hot, glands from beneath the surface of the skin secrete sweat, allowing it to come to the surface. In order to cool down, this liquid, this sweat, needs to be able to evaporate. And when it does transition from the liquid state into a gaseous state, that requires energy. The creation of that energy draws heat from the body. And as a result, we feel cooler. It's a process that is known as evaporative cooling. But if our sweat cannot escape, if it stays in the liquid state, then we just get hotter and hotter. Now, even though all waterproof membranes to an extent are breathable, any membrane is going to impede the escape of sweat in its gaseous form from the skin. And that's why in the hottest conditions, or when we're working hard on the bike, we really don't want to be wearing anything that has a membrane. Now, there are lots of jackets out there that don't have membranes. They come in all shapes and sizes. Some are heavier, some are lighter, some flow lots of air, some flow less air. And of course, the styling of jackets without membranes kind of knows no bounds. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at lots of different types of summer jacket. There's more than one way to skin a cat after all. And so we're going to be talking about many different styles of jacket, all of which have one thing in common. They are all designed to help the rider stay cool when the weather's hot. Anyway, let's take a look at some of those jackets. In some ways, the ultimate expression of a summer jacket might be considered to be a mesh jacket. A mesh jacket will have a basic nylon chassis interspersed with panels of loosely woven mesh material. The air will flow easily through those mesh panels, and this will help the rider to stay cool. The fact that it's mesh also is going to make it easy for the rider to sweat, perspire, to stay cool. The Arvika is in many ways a typical mesh jacket, although I've got to say, in our view, it's quite a superior one. Of course, it's got lots of mesh paneling. So you've got these large mesh panels that run up the front of the jacket, you've got mesh panels at the back, and you've got mesh that runs up the arms. But most mesh jackets are flimsy and somewhat insubstantial affairs. Well, the Arvika doesn't feel or wear like most mesh jackets. It's rated AA under EN 17092 for abrasion resistance, and it comes as standard with level 2 armour, really nice level 2 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. All of the other stuff about the Arvika, it's got to be said, is pretty standard. But make no mistake, the Arvika is not your average mesh jacket. It's not the cheapest on the market, but if it's a classic mesh jacket you want, we think it's one of the best. The standard Temple wax cotton jacket has been in the Belstaff range for many years, but before this version came along, it was always a nylon jacket. It was light and easy to wear, but in our view, it was always a little insubstantial. It felt insubstantial. It was not the kind of jacket that you'd have wanted to have an accident in if you'd been riding at motorway speeds. Well, this wax cotton version is a whole different ballgame. It feels and wears like a proper protective motorcycle jacket. Now, technically, it's only rated single A under EN 17092 for abrasion resistance, but that is because these mesh panels run all the way up the arms into the higher rated, the more protective zones. What we do know is that the wax cotton is actually rated AA, and we know that because it's the same fabric, exactly the same fabric that is used on the AA rated Belstaff Crosby and Belstaff Brooklands jackets. It's got to be said, there will, I suppose, be jackets that flow more air than this, but we've not come across a mesh jacket that's as stylish and cool looking as this one. This, frankly, is the nicest, easiest to wear wax cotton jacket that certainly I've ever come across. But unlike most wax cotton jackets, you'd be happy to wear this on the hottest days. Not perhaps in the desert, but I think temperatures up to, say, 30 degrees, you'd be fine in this jacket. For added comfort, you get D3O, shaped D3O in the shoulders and the elbows. The back protector is not supplied as standard. The Roka Black Jacket is something a wee bit special. It's made from a Shirley Industries fabric that is known as Dynatec, and that's a fabric that Roka uses for some of its chinos. Under the old EN 13595 abrasion test, the fabric scores a slide time, as it is known, of over 6 seconds, and that technically means that the fabric is about 50% stronger than leather. Under EN 17092, the current abrasion test, the jacket is rated AAA, and it doesn't get any stronger than that. But this is still a single layer material. It is not lined. So even though we wouldn't classify the black jacket as a high airflow garment, it's still going to be cooler to wear than anything with a membrane. Black jacket has a couple of other tricks up its sleeve, however. With the nanosphere treatment to the outer fabric of the material, the jacket is going to be good for maybe, I don't know, up to an hour in the rain, and you can't say that about many summer jackets. There's also a coal black treatment applied to the jacket, and what that does, it reflects up to, I think it's 90% of the sun's ultraviolet rays, and what that means is that the jacket is not going to absorb heat in the way that you might normally expect a black jacket to. The jacket comes with D3O Ghost armour in the shoulders, in the elbows, and as standard in the back. The black jacket, let's face it, looks just like an ordinary black jacket that you might buy on the high street, but it's much more than that. It's not cheap, it's got to be admitted, but it's very protective and it's very cool. We really like the Klim Marrakesh. We really like the Klim Marrakesh. Indeed, we have already put our cart on the table. Quite simply, we think that this is the best motorcycle jacket that money can buy. And I'm not just talking about summer jackets. It's constructed from loosely woven 1000 denier cordura that's then infused with elastane for an incredibly stretchy fit. It's the most comfortable motorcycle jacket that you will ever wear, but as it flows air through every panel, all around the chest, the arms, the back, it's also going to flow more air than your average mesh jacket. Yet despite the way it fits, it is still rated AA under EN 17092. The jacket also comes fitted, by the way, with D3O Ghost in the shoulders, in the elbows, and with a level 1 back protector. But it's the stretch that makes the Marrakesh quite so special, because it allows you to wear layers beneath it. What we like to do here, we'll wear the Klim Zephyr super thin, gossamer thin windproof layer underneath it when it's a wee bit chilly, because that will counter the effects of wind chill. When it gets really cold, we will add to that the down jacket from Klim called the Maverick jacket. When it rains, we put on a Scott waterproofer over the top. And with this system, you've got an outfit that you can wear in just about any condition. With these 4 pieces, so the Marrakesh, the Zephyr, the Maverick and the Scott, you really could circumnavigate the globe. Now, layering on the bike makes so much more sense. The issue with the Marrakesh, of course, is because of the stretch, it does it so much better than any other jacket we've come across. On its own, it's got to be said that the jacket is not massively expensive, but the price does start to creep up as you add the layers. But when you've got all the layers, you've got the kind of unparalleled level of versatility that you won't find in any other jacket, however much you spend. I suppose we're pretty lucky here at Moto Legends. With the breadth of the range that we carry here, we usually have more than one way of getting to the same end result. And so the Lawrence is a different take, I suppose, on a summer jacket. As per our definition of a summer jacket, the Lawrence has no membrane. It's actually configured as a mid-length wax cotton jacket, something not dissimilar, I suppose, from the Belstaff Crosby. It is undoubtedly a lightweight jacket, although the wax cotton chassis is not going to flow, it has to be admitted, a lot of air. But this is still going to be a nice jacket to wear in warm weather. I think it would have to be really hot, certainly over 25, approaching 30, before you started to feel sweaty in the Lawrence. One of the benefits of this jacket, unlike some of the other summer jackets we've reviewed, however, is that the Lawrence will deliver a certain amount of protection from the rain. After all, before membranes were invented, wax cotton was how we all kept dry. Now, obviously, the wax and the cotton, as I mentioned already, means that this is not going to be the most breathable summer jacket that we sell, but it is still light and easy to wear. You'd be happy to wear a jacket like this, I figure, through most of a British summer. An Australian summer, perhaps less so. We also like, it's got to be admitted, the great classic look. Riding shirts, let's face it, are not jackets. although the Roka shirt is a little bit different. If we were just talking about the merits of riding shirts today, I think we'd probably have chosen the held shirt or a held shirt over a Roka one, because frankly their shirts are lighter and easier to wear. But the reason we have included the Roka shirt in this review is because in some ways it is more like a jacket than a shirt. Now the outer fabric is a flannel material, exactly what you'd expect on a classic Canadian lumberjack shirt, for example. But what Roka has done, they've lined the jacket with some kind of denim fabric, and it's this that gives the shirt much more abrasion and tear resistance, but it's this also that causes the shirt to feel much more like a jacket. So in effect, what we have here is a really nice looking plaid shirt that looks as cool as a shirt can be, but that wears more like a lightweight jacket. Yes, in hot weather, air is going to pass through it, although high airflow it is not. It's just a nice piece to wear on a warm day, days when you want to adopt a more casual, perhaps more bike sheddy look. But of course, it's still a protective shirt. It's rated AA under EN 17092. It comes with flat armour. It's not D3O, but it is a similar armour. It's the Sastic version of D3O. That comes in the shoulders and the elbows. There is a pocket that will take a D3O back protector. The Spirit R from Roka has replaced the jacket that was called the Force Air. Now the Force Air was about as close as anybody has ever got to matching the Marrakesh. In truth, with its knitted AFT chassis, AFT standing for Airflow Technology, with that chassis it flowed more air than the Marrakesh. But the jacket didn't look as good, it didn't fit as well, it wasn't as comfortable, it wasn't as protective, and because it didn't contain a large amount of stretch or enough stretch, it didn't lend itself to layering in the way that the Marrakesh does. This new jacket, the Spirit R, is made from a 500 denier Cordura with a little bit of elastane. You've got some more layers of Cordura here on the shoulders and the elbows for a little bit of extra abrasion resistance. You've got ghost armour in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket for a back protector, although it is not included. But what I can tell you is that the only level 1 protector that's going to work in this jacket is the ghost protector from D3O. Now it seems to us that when Roka was creating the Spirit R, they were very much tilting at the Marrakesh. But the jacket falls short. So why is that? Well, unlike its predecessor, the Force Air, the Spirit R has a knitted chassis, so it has a woven chassis, not a knitted one. So it flows much less air. Also flows, it's got to be said, much less air than the Marrakesh. It's also not as stretchy as the Klim jacket, and that's key when it comes to layering. As we've already pointed out, the Roka jacket starts with a 500 denier Cordura chassis instead of the 1000 denier Cordura chassis of the Marrakesh. So the Spirit R is only rated single A under EN 17092 as opposed to the Marrakesh's AA. The Roka jacket also only comes in standard Roka black, and whilst that's what you'd expect from Roka, it's not a great colour for a summer jacket. Now what Roka has done so much better than Klim is sizing. The Marrakesh comes in just 6 sizes, and frankly that's nowhere near enough sizes. The Spirit R by contrast comes in 11 sizes, and that's kind of what you'd expect of a proper motorcycle jacket. The bottom line, however, is whatever the sizing issues, the Marrakesh is just nicer, easier, better, more comfortable. It's a better jacket. Of course, if you're looking for something to wear to match or go on top of your Roka pants, maybe you're a commuter, then the Spirit R may be just the answer. The Silver Vase jacket from Spidi is something a little bit different. It's inspired by a famous Italian brand from the 70s called Bremer. That brand was well known for its trials gear, and indeed the current Bremer jacket, the current Bremer Silver Vase jacket, looks just like a trials jacket of old. It's a mid-length jacket, so it's got a profile that is something similar to perhaps the Belstaff Crosby, although in every way it's a different jacket to the Crosby. The first thing to note is how light and stretchy the outer fabric is. I suppose it's almost as stretchy as the Marrakesh. Of course, this is not a mesh jacket, but with its lightweight chassis and the absence of a membrane, it's going to be able to keep you cool in even the hottest weather. The jacket is insanely comfortable. We have always reckoned that the Marrakesh was comfortable, but the Bremer is probably even easier to live with, easier to wear. And herein potentially lies one issue with the jacket. It's so light and comfortable that it doesn't feel as reassuring to wear as some people might expect of a motorcycle jacket. Now, some people feel this when they first put the Marrakesh on, but the Bremer is a good deal lighter than the Marrakesh. Yet amazingly, it is still AA rated for abrasion resistance under EN 17092. And on a jacket that is this light, that is certainly not unimpressive. Obviously, the jacket comes with CE armour in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket for a back protector, and the back protector that's going to work best is a D3O back protector that is fitted with Velcro. There's nothing quite like the Bremer Silver Vase jacket. With its stretch component, it wears almost like the Marrakesh, and you could certainly layer beneath it. But in some ways, in other ways, it's nothing like the Marrakesh. It is a less hardy jacket, it is less robust. You probably wouldn't wear the jacket off-road despite its classic trials look. In our view, it is better suited to the urban environment. But if you're looking for lightness and a terrific dose of super cool retro styling, you should take a look at the Bremer Silver Vase. We really like this jacket, introduced by Roka for the first time in the spring of 2024. The jacket resembles, although it's not a stitch-perfect copy of, the US Navy N1 deck jacket. It's made from an abrasion-resistant fabric that comprises a mix of cordura and canvas. It feels much like the duck canvas material that you find on many Dickies and Carhartt products. So whilst it's soft and pliable, there's a slight rougher texture to the external surface. This is very much one of those motorcycle jackets that doesn't look like a motorcycle jacket. That, I believe, is its appeal. Indeed, remove the armour from this jacket and you've just got yourself a good-looking item of streetwear. It's got a plaid lining and it's lightly wadded for warmth and comfort. Now, this review today is about summer jackets, and that doesn't suggest padded linings, but there's no membrane involved with the jacket, with this particular jacket. So in our view, it's still very much a summer jacket. The detailing on the jacket, it's got to be said, is pretty plain. You've got a corduroy collar here, you've got two side slash pockets, you've got one upper pocket. You've got adjusters here on the hem, but also on the ends of the sleeves. You've got a cover for the base of the zip to stop that scratching the tank of your bike. Overall, this is about as simple as a motorcycle jacket gets. Roka claim that it's pretty water resistant, but I think we'd take that with a pinch of salt. It will have a standard DWR durable water repellent applied, but that's going to disappear quite quickly. The jacket is rated AA for abrasion resistance under EN 17092, and that's what one might hope for. Jacket comes supplied with Sastec flat armour in the shoulders and the elbows. We would perhaps have preferred D3O, but you can't always get what you want. There's a pocket for a back protector. It will take a D3O protector. In conclusion, this is a really cool jacket. It's not a technical piece, but it looks so good, you don't even have to have a motorcycle to appreciate it. In terms of what it does, the Ellis jacket from Helsons is just another mesh jacket, I suppose. It's pretty similar to dozens of other mesh jackets out there. So you get these large mesh panels up the front, you get mesh panel across the back, and you get mesh running down the sleeve. All of this is pretty standard fare. In terms of protection, again, you get what you might expect. The jacket is only single A rated for abrasion resistance under EN 17092, and that is not unusual for a mesh jacket. What is unusual for a mesh jacket is that not only do you get armour in the elbows and the shoulders, but you get, as standard, a back protector. But for us, what makes the Ellis so special is not what it does or even how it works, it's how it looks. The jacket is very much based on the famous MA1 jacket that was created for the US Navy and US Air Force pilots back in the 50s. That jacket with its sage green exterior and orange lighting is one of those jackets that can truly be termed iconic. Now, the Ellis mirrors the MA1 in a number of respects. There are, first of course, those colours. The sage green exterior, the jacket is lines totally in orange. You get these two sloping pockets here at the front of the jacket. You get this pen holder pocket at the side of the jacket. We just think the Ellis is a little bit different. Okay, it's no Marrakesh, but nonetheless, it's a fun alternative to mesh jackets. And it's well priced, especially given that, as we've already said, it comes with a back protector. We like it. Hi there, well, I hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to see more jackets, then visit the website motorlegends.com. If you'd like to see more of our summer jackets, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to our summer jacket section on the website. Now, when you're there, you can check out the specs in a little bit more detail. You can check availability, and obviously, if you want to buy one of the jackets, you can do that there and then. When you buy from us, we try to make the process simple, straightforward, and risk-free as we possibly can. There is no delivery charge on any item of protective wear that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. Now, we have the best price promise in the business. John Lewis was rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold price promise. We actually go one stage better. If you can find anybody selling anything that we sell at a price that is below ours, we will beat that retailer's price by a full 10%. Now, there are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call our price beat, but there's nothing particularly onerous, I promise you. But if you do want to price beat us, then I suggest you go over to the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. If in the future you'd like to see bulletins from us about new products, then go to the website. At the top of every page, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there. Within seconds, you'll be in business. In the future, you'll receive all of our email bulletins. If, however, you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, then we'd be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make mention of our fabulous little shop here at Motor Legends. We're based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. And as I've suggested, it's a small shop. It's got a small footprint, but it actually has £4 million worth of stock, or we have here more than £4 million worth of stock in the warehouse that's attached to the shop. And technically that makes this the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we'd like to think of ourselves as more than just the amount of stock here we have in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. And when you come to see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And who knows, if you're lucky, you might even get to sample one of our delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.